Hello, salutations. What it do? So Dr. Gamer off how to do our game. You know, vibes like a scribe. Let's get it. Welcome once again to the Aftershow podcast. I am Sadot the Gamer, joined by
Casual
a
Avenger.
not casual Avenger. He is currently eating deep dish while rewatching all the Marvel Spider-Man 2 gameplay. So, in the meantime, I've got this guy right here. He'll do
Yeah,
for now.
sad face. I agree. It is a downgrade from Casual Avenger, but I'm here. I paused my video game to be here.
You pause your video game.
One of those like stupid shirts that like uncles will buy for Christmas if they know you like video games, something like that.
Right. Welcome once again. Oh, there's casual. Falls, he's suffering at work. By work, he means eating pizza while watching Spider-Man videos. That's not work, casual. I don't believe you. What's up, chat? We got the last Avenger standing, Captain in the building. We got old man Eastwood with his new puppy and child in tow. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. We got Caden Keith in here as well, Wolf Nation. Welcome. We have a great show because a lot happened this week, mainly in the world of video games. We had the state of play on Thursday, the surprise state of play to surprise to everyone except me and all the people who follow me and Jeff Grubb.
Because the surprise of all the people that like claim bad marketing.
Bad marketing. Oh, the bad marketing bros took all the L's this week.
No, but that's the thing though. They're like trying to pretend like they didn't. They're trying to pretend like, oh, see, this is just what we wanted.
The cope is real. Right. The cope is real.
It was so real. Like, but this is what we were talking about. Well, no shit. Okay.
Yes, this is exactly what we were talking about. Shut the fuck up.
What we were talking about.
Yes, shut the fuck up. It's Insomniac knows what they're doing.
When they were ready, they were going to do it, and they were going to do it big, and you just needed to cope and seethe a little.
Yeah, I like to say that not only was I right about the state of play down to the date, I was also right about Spider-Man 2 getting a presentation. Just need to say that because a lot of people were calling cap, and I just love proving wrong. I'm almost undefeated when it comes to predictions this year. It's crazy. The only thing I missed out on was Gamescom Open Night Live not having Spider-Man. Everything else 100% spot on. Love it. But oh yeah, there was also another video game that got some shine this week before getting absolutely blown out by Marvel Spider-Man 2. I'm talking, of course, about the brand new dating sim Eternights, which had its launch earlier in the week. It's a JRPG roguelike dating sim that I played a little bit. Shout out to Kepler for the review code. I got to play it a little bit on Twitch. Oh yeah, something about combat, something about human combat. That game was doing something. I think I saw Jay streaming it. Caboose was streaming it as well. What's that all about?
Mortal Kombat. You fight people, you punch people. They might splatter into pools of blood. I'm shocked that with all the videos I have up so far, not one has been demonetized yet.
Or age restricted.
Not even nothing. Like
nothing.
Yeah,
just let it rock.
Yeah, so far. So we'll see what happens. I anticipate something happening soon, but I've got some videos that are doing pretty well. And my first stream was amazing.
I saw Mr. JayShockblast looked like a Sadot Gamer stream for a second.
I mean, like my streams lately have felt like they used to, like it used to be I could fire up a stream and now it's probably gonna have at least 100 people there all the time.
Yeah, like almost 900 for that first Mortal Kombat one.
Yeah, and like most of the people were cool. A lot of them were annoying. It's like, oh, where's Homelander? I'm like,
how you play? How are you playing?
Yeah. Oh, it was either how are you playing or where's Homelander and Omni Man. So
To be fair, where's Omni Man?
I mean, I don't know. I guess every game launches with their full DLC, ready to go.
I mean, I feel like they should have gave you early access content creators Omni Man.
I mean, a month ago, we think that they were still like doing motion capture for Omni Man. So, I mean, I don't know how fast people think it goes from motion capture to in the game, but I mean,
Like a couple hours.
yeah, right. So, but yeah, man, like I have honestly been loving Mortal Kombat. Like I know that as fighter games go, it has its own style. It is definitely a little slower than some, but kind of like what they did with Street Fighter 6, who actually I think can thank Mortal Kombat for kind of reinventing the single player aspect of a fighting game by having these stories and stuff like that. I think that like what they've done with this is going to give it so much life. Who's Omni Man? Wow,
I think Eastwood is more of a boomer than you officially.
maybe. Um, but like so they've added this mode called Invasion, which is kind of like a top down, and you're like just basically going down all these different paths in a given area from the story of the game, and you do fights along the way, and you get unlocks, and you get currency to buy the different skins and stuff like that that you want, and like there's a little bit of a story to it, and they're doing it seasonally, which is these cranberries.
Were they now my question is, were they dried cranberries? Because I can understand that. Dried cranberries slap.
But yeah, so like this is going to be a seasonal thing. So like a month and a half from now, they're going to have season 2 with all new little worlds that you can like go through and get even more stuff. The item shops are going to update every like uh 45 to 50 days with it.
Ooh, item shops.
And yeah, so and it's in-game currency that you earn playing the game.
What? Whoa. You're telling me that this is a game with a item shop and in-game currency that you don't have to just get with your own money?
Relax. There is some another shop that you can buy stuff with real money.
Oh, I'm about to say,
Uh,
what kind of
yeah.
game is this?
Yeah, I mean, but like, there's a ton of stuff that you can get in the seasonal shop. Like each character has like 4 different skins. About some of them have more than that. They're really cool. I'm shocked. I did not think that I would be playing Scorpion as much as I am. But he has like this amazing. Let me actually pull it up real quick. Like he has for his seasonal skin, one of the most awesome, and I think you will appreciate this, just because
Allegedly.
it's I trust me, I believe that you will. Hold on, I had to pull it up. All right, share screen. All right, just look at that thing. Like that is literally like a Regin Sakai, you know?
Yeah,
Uh
that's definitely pretty Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah, so like
I'm messing with it.
I saw that and I was like, all right, I gotta have that. And obviously I had to use it in the stream, and then I just kind of kept going. So now I'm a Scorpion main. I can't believe it. Um, you don't need a shop. You get skin. Yeah, you get right, Tyler. You get stuff from playing online as well. But like, you go into the shop and buy them if you want a specific one. Everything else is kind of just randomized as you go. But like, the reality is like there's so much cool stuff to do. Yes, I mentioned Dice K. I can't remember his last name, but
How
I got
dare
my
you?
Jins. Huh?
How dare you?
Well, I mean, listen, I can say his name properly, and he was very impressed when I said his name. So, but little
Yeah,
does he know, the Boston Red Sox had a guy named Daisuke Matsuzaka, so we all learned how to say his name. It's
as you
like
should.
Daisuke Toji, something like that. But yeah, so I mean, maybe that's exactly why I'm just loving playing as him. The story was amazing. I like this is a 9.5 for me, and that I don't give tens. I don't believe in tens, but like there's so little that they did wrong as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's some little things that I think they could have done better, and invasion is a new thing. Yeah, it's not even the best score. I know, Steven, the best scorpion skin you get for beating invasion, and I just got spoiled because Ed Boon retweeted super and he must have unlocked it last night. So yeah, I got the sweet statue from
It's the
WB.
collector's edition.
Yeah, the collector's edition. Uh, Shout out to them for making me not have to pre-order or go through with my order. What I love about it is Liu Kang. This is an actual skin that you also get with it. So, and that skin is like really cool. Apparently, people are complaining because it's supposed to glow in the dark and it doesn't. But like, who cares? So, but yeah, I know this is what happens every time. Like,
I mean, I'd care if I paid for it, but you got it for free, so who cares?
well, I mean, I was gonna pay. I had it on pre-order until it actually got here, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I can cancel it now that it's actually here.
That's the best. That's the best feeling. You're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me
But like,
order.
I don't
Oh, never
assume
mind.
that I'm gonna get anything. And I literally had this conversation with Alan from WB at Summer Game Fest. I'm like, oh yeah, I pre-ordered it. He goes, oh, we're probably gonna just send it to you. I'm like, yeah, but I don't count on anything, so I'll hold on to it until I see it.
Stay humble.
Yeah. Well,
So
apparently I don't. But anyway, it's
so,
another story.
I mean,
But
you were
honestly,
flexing. You were flexing a little bit on stream.
I did have. Oh yeah, well. When, yeah, whenever the people came in and were like, "Oh, you suck! I can't believe they gave this guy early access." I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, how about this? Here's me at Ed Boon. Here's me outside Ed Boon's office. Here's me at NetherRealm. So suck on these nuts." So I don't do that often, okay? Because I don't like doing.
Every once in a while, you gotta put them in their place. I feel
Exactly. And that was kind of one of those situations where it was like, nah, you're not gonna listen. We are all most of the people, I would say 93% of the people were great about it. There were just a few people that were just, they had to like make themselves feel better about their life and how good they are at video games. I think I'm getting better. I feel like I'm getting better, and that's all that matters. But that's what I've loved about the streams though. Like I'm getting, between like 150 and 200, and it feels good that they're all like pretty into it. There are different puzzles in the invasion mode, and we're all kind of like working together to try to figure them out. And I don't know, there's a really cool sense of like
community.
camaraderie, you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe you should become a Mortal Kombat creator until the next Lego game drops.
Well, I did that like with Mortal Kombat 11. I made a ton of Mortal Kombat 11 videos, and I plan on doing that here too. So, but yeah, I'm just excited.
You should set up a stream where you fight Sonic Fox and see if you can land 2 hits.
I once fought Caboose on one of his streams, and I won not the whole match, but like one of the 2 that you have to win.
You dropped the game,
yeah, because he was reading chat.
And he put his controller down.
Yeah. So, but Ed Boon says it still counts.
Right.
So
a win's a win.
yeah. So yeah, but I'm loving it. If you're a fighting game player, I really feel like this is a good one. I know that there are some like the Capcom games, the Capcom fighters that are a lot faster, and more they're a little bit more arcadey. This is definitely a little slower, but I feel like there's a place for both.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I played a little bit of the beta for MK1, and it was like the first time I played Mortal Kombat in quite a while. So I was I'm talking like since the 90s. So I got into the swing of things, but it was okay. But I'm more clicked with Street Fighter. I kind of like the pace, the control scheme, and the options in the control scheme, and also Street Fighter 6 has vastly superior fan service. So I definitely appreciate it.
What do you mean?
I mean, have you seen the Cammy, the Chun Li, the jury
You mean
outfit?
the cake? I got you. I
Cake,
didn't know. I didn't
cake
know we were talking
everywhere.
about the bakery.
Cake everywhere. They got the dudes are absolutely shredded. The women are caked up.
Yeah,
It's got something for everybody.
yeah,
They cater to every fetish and Street Fighter Six
yeah. Well,
is great.
that's what Japan will give you.
That's why I love the Eastern Studios. Capcom actually has a showcase coming up next week.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to they're going to, and they promised an update on Dragon's Dogma 2, which I'm very much looking forward to, and
Yeah.
some Resident Evil as well. They announced, of course, at the State of Play. Obviously, pretty much everyone forgot about everything except for Spider-Man. But before that, the State of Play, they showed off Resident Evil VR mode. They showed off the new Ada Wong DLC, which I applied for. So I should get a key for that. But yeah, there's we're really good. You know, you're fighting game fan. It's pretty. It's if you're not a Spider-Man enthusiast, you got some good stuff. You got MK1. You got Capcom cooking up something.
Cyberpunk's new
Cyber,
expansion's coming.
looks great. We'll never play it.
Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Looks amazing.
Payday 3. I just found out I'm getting a Payday 3 Gold Edition key. So
Oh, nice.
I'm looking to try that. Johnny Rocker I know is big into Payday 3.
I played the beta. It was interesting.
All right, so you should definitely play it, and I'll play it. You, me, and Johnny Rocker, we should rob a bank.
I like it.
Let's do it.
Johnny Rocker and I'll be the only ones to get away with it.
What's up? What's up, Dear Bear One? Because racism. I get it.
Yes, I went there. I'll tell you this: my biggest regret of the year, video game wise, was getting Diablo 4 instead of Street Fighter 6.
Oof, I feel yeah. I feel the exact same way about Dying Light 2 and getting that instead of Elden Ring.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I didn't love Street Fighter 5, and 6 is just so much better. And I did love Diablo 3, and I thought I was going to love Diablo 4. And I don't hate Diablo 4.
Right.
It's just very boring.
And apparently very expensive.
Yeah, like I don't even think I finished Act 3. So yeah, I'm pretty. And then I just I went to Summer Game Fest and never played it again.
And Baldur's Gate 3 is better anyway. So
yeah, and that's a crazy thing. I did get a key for Baldur's Gate 3 like the day Starfield came out.
Bad timing.
Yeah, because so that's what happened is I actually got a key for it for PC, and I said, hey, I had requested PS5. Like, oh well, I didn't realize it came out a month later, so I was like, yeah, I'll just wait for PS5. So if you want to give this key to someone else, I didn't use it. It's like, no, you can have that one too. You can just give it to someone if you want. So I gave it to Hyruler. I'm like, dude, did you pay for it yet? He goes, I can cancel it. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, here, have this key. And regrets. I should have because I don't like creating content on PC. It's just a hassle. I just don't love it.
That's right. Console superiority.
Yeah, exactly. I really and truly do feel that way. It's just so much easier, and I want to have a control in my hand anyway.
Absolutely.
So yeah. I do regret not getting Street Fighter 6 because I almost did, but I didn't want to get them both and have one of them just never get played, which is what would have happened probably. And I wish I just chose Street Fighter 6 because I did enjoy it a lot. I did buy Raphael from the Ninja Turtles,
of course.
And I actually have a video I put up on that, and it's doing some numbers. So
okay, Mr. Blast.
Yeah, so that's it.
Now, of course, the biggest everything of this week.
We got everything out of the way.
Got everything out of the way.
We can do the Spider-Man.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk some Unity and Ahsoka later. But for now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I got I gotta say, Jay, game of the year.
Probably.
I'm saying it. I'm declaring it. It was. I treated it like a kind of a meme before, like, oh, game of the year. I knew it was. I was confident it was going to be a contender,
I
but
feel like I knew like everybody that went to that event.
yeah, it was pretty much everyone there. I just saw Skill Up. I didn't even know Skill Up was there. He didn't even tweet initially on that first day when everybody was tweeting about it. But yeah, he was there. He just posted his impressions video a couple hours ago. But yeah, so once again, I called it I predict the state of play. Well, Jeff Grubb predicted it. I reported
You
it.
read Jeff Grubb's prediction and retweeted it.
I read Jeff Grubb's prediction that it was going to be in September, but he didn't say what day. I found out what day it was.
Oh.
So there. So I beat Jeff Grubb on that one. He didn't know the day. I knew the day. I knew it was going to be on Thursday. So I got Jeff Grubb on that one, and I knew they were going to show Spider-Man 2. But well, I didn't know they were going to show the gameplay trailer, but I knew they were going to show the deluxe edition trailer because I saw that on when Aaron posted his photo of all 5 of his PlayStation 5s. He didn't crop out his computer screen, so I saw the Brian Intihar deluxe edition video sitting on his computer.
Oh Jesus! You're one of them. You like literally enhance.
There's all because that's I've learned enough about Insomniac when it comes to marketing. When they drop a trailer, when they drop a photo, always enhance. Watch at 0.25 speed. There's gonna be something there, and sure enough, I saw the video file. I was like, oh, they finished the digital deluxe 2 trailer, so they're showing it at the state of play. so I do that, but we got a nice little bonus. We got a Brian Intihar video where he broke down the open world. He talked about some of the gameplay mechanics, how the missions would work, and we basically just shut down all the marketing bros. and
Well, that was
just the
also
beginning.
one of the. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. That
Oh,
was one of the things
bigot.
about the marketing bros that I knew. I knew that they were doing this event. I knew that they were having the content creators out, and I knew that that was going to pick up too. But obviously, I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want it to come back to like anyone.
You should have said to me. So
I did say something to you.
You should have said it more specifically because I thought you were talking about the Game Informer thing.
No.
But if you had said it was an event, I would have asked my contact at Sony so I could get a heads up and see if I could get squeeze an invite. I wanted to go.
Yeah, the invites went out like over a month ago, so like people knew about it like when I was in Chicago. So
Maybe Chicago.
yeah, I first of all, no one said anything to me directly. I just happened to be standing there when a conversation happened, and it was very, very hush hush, and it was more asking if they could get Mortal Kombat super early.
So hold on. People were complaining about not getting the cover and the controllers, knowing they were going to be getting flown out to LA to play the game.
I don't know who complained about not getting the covers and controller.
Several people, including messaging me directly about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. If I want something, I buy it. I'm not like ever gonna sit there and expect anybody to send me anything. So I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I feel like I do agree with what you're saying, but I do also feel like I feel like that would have been a gift they were given when they were there. So I don't know, because usually when you go to these events, they send you home with some kind of goodie.
Low swag.
Yeah, like for Mortal Kombat, they gave me like a pin set. So there's like 3 pins. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't hear about any goodies, but I mean, they got sent home with some new gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy though. Like I just obviously Caboose is there. Our Evan Falarco is there. I didn't even realize that Uncaged Games was there. He
Yep,
didn't post
Uncaged,
anything until today. Blitzwinger was there, my guy.
Afro Senju, Hollow, Random Black Gamer. Funny enough, I was streaming. Watched a bunch of the people's hands-on impressions, and Random Black Gamer broke the embargo. He posted his impression video like a half hour before the embargo time.
Oh.
Because I was streaming. I start my co-streams like a half hour to an hour early. So I started like 30 minutes early, and I was on Twitter because I was trying to find this creator's channel so I can set up, because I was trying to set up all the channels that I'll be reacted to while I was doing the stream, and a casual DM me that Random Black Gamer had posted his video early.
That's a nightmare. But like a half hour is weird. Like I would actually understand it more if it was an hour early, because you're like, oh, I got the time wrong.
Yeah.
They said 9 a.m. Pacific, and I thought it was 11 a.m. Eastern. That kind of thing. But like a half hour is weird. So
it was definitely weird. The weirdest thing is that it was definitely the worst of the impression videos that I reacted to
oh wow.
and that I've seen so far, because when I watched it, I was like, because I knew beforehand that they weren't allowed to capture gameplay. I knew I found out before that they just got to play the demo. No recording was allowed whatsoever. They even had scary people in suits checking to make sure that nobody was filming while they were playing. So PlayStation just captured gameplay themselves and sent everybody home with the gameplay that they could use in their impression video. But he used so little of the footage. I was like, did they finesse them? Did they only send them the Brian Intihar video and like a couple clips? Because I'm watching the Random Black Gamers video. I'm like, there's like nothing. There's like he was using clips from Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man PC, Miles Morales, and I'm like, bro, did they not give them any footage? Like they gave him like what, a few, like the only new clips he had was like a glimpse of the lizard boss fight, which he used. I mean, not even a boss fight, like the chase scene that he used for the thumbnail, and he had a little bit of the swing of some of the swinging, and I'm like, damn, did they just not give them any footage? But the hilarious thing is that he said he wasn't going to show the lizard boss fight because he didn't want to mess with his NDA, which was hilarious to me because he literally broke the embargo. But I'm like, yeah, that's not against the NDA. Everybody was posting the lizard boss fight. so I'm like, so then I was going to react to Evan's video because he had actually scheduled his as a premiere. So people were just coming in and waiting for his premiere, which he scheduled for 11. But when 11 hit, the premiere started and it was on a 5-minute countdown. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching this. So I switched over to Caboose and I watched Caboose's video. He ended up having the best one by far.
Of course.
And I was like, it was like going from Random Black Gamers to Caboose's was like going from it was like going from watching 2-year-olds play pickup basketball to watching the Boston Celtics playing the San Antonio Spurs. I was like, bro.
Thought you were gonna say like the dream team playing a high school team.
No, it was the difference in quality was crazy.
Yeah.
Like Caboose just in general just cooked. Like, but it was made worse by the fact that Random Black Gamers video was so bad. but Caboose had everything. He had his mix of impressions. He showed a bunch of gameplay. Apparently, he was the only one that figured out that there was a Spider-Verse side mission chain, Like
I did see his tweet. I didn't see his video yet,
yeah,
but
I watched the full video, and pretty much everyone, it looks like, just kind of either played the story or was just like playing around with the free roam and doing crimes and stuff. But I know Uncaged did a couple of the side missions, but Caboose was the only one that like did a bunch of the Spider-Bot side missions because good thing he did, just out of curiosity, because he thought he saw the beacons in the open world and thought it looked kind of like similar to Spider-Verse, and he just did Spider-Bots, and he confirmed like the Spider-Bots you pick up had like Spider-Man suit symbols attached to them, Spider-Man picture. Like they had he said they had a bunch like Noir, they had Spider-Gwen, Penny, just a bunch of characters that he thought could be suits as well. And he said he got to a point where Genki was trying to track down the source of the spider bots, and he said it was weird. It said that the source was coming from literally millions of miles away, and Caboose like, oh, that must mean like that would make sense if they were from another dimension. So I think somebody from the Spider-Verse, somebody from one of the Spider-Men from a different dimension, I think at the end of the chain is going to be revealed that they're the ones that have been leaving the spider bots all over the place. So Caboose didn't get to finish the mission chain, but I think that's how it's going to go. So once I get my hands on the game, I'm definitely finishing that mission chain. I'm gonna find out, because I gotta know. But holy, did Random Black Gamer not cook? but
yeah, that's a big opportunity too to like get a lot of eyes on, you know.
Yeah. So I was very glad, because when I saw just how much gameplay they got handed, I was blown away, and we learned a lot. We learned a lot more. So they didn't actually show any of the gameplay from the chase scene that we saw in the demo from PlayStation Showcase. Apparently that was part of what they got to play at the preview event, and they said it basically played out like that, but there were some cutscenes and stuff that they left out of the PlayStation Showcase. But other than that it was pretty much that. But it looks like this was just all part of like the whole Connor's Lizard arc, and we don't know. I thought I knew how Peter got the symbiote, but because I assumed the mission that they showed where Peter and Harry are working together in the lab that gets attacked, I thought that was the one where he gets the symbiote for the first time, because he's in that building without the symbiote suit on. And it still might be the case, but when he's in there, he's working with Harry to kind of work on, I guess, an antidote for Connors, I think. And it was revealed that Harry actually knows Peter's Spider-Man. So at some point he actually finds out who Peter is, and like everything's totally cool, and they're just working together. And that's when the lab gets attacked by Craven's people. Craven at some point steals the serum that Peter made for Connors, and Peter tracks him to this bell tower, this church, and they have that crazy bell tower scene where Craven figures out that Peter's weak against sound, but Peter manages to take the serum and escape. And then Craven, after Peter walks away, says this is going to be his final hunt, which immediately made me go, oh, great! They said the thing, but apparently the demo ended with that lizard chase scene. So the boss fight they got to see with Lizard. Apparently Uncaged died a lot. Skill issue.
I'm not surprised, because when we were in Montreal, he sat like his setup was on the other side of mine, and I just kept hearing him die over and over again.
So, definite skill issue. I said that. You said that when I was watching his reaction. I was like, yeah, definitely skill issue. But the battle looked incredible. Insomniac, it felt like pretty much Insomniac just took all the feedback from the previous games and just did everything to 11. Like one of the biggest complaints about the other games were the quality of the boss fights. Like I thought most of them weren't that engaging. It was a lot, like, I think Finn's was probably the better one in terms of variety and challenge, but yeah, is a lot of them is just kind of like dodge, react, and they addressed a bunch of issues. So they still have a lot of the cinematic set piece stuff, the takedowns, but the bosses have health bars now. Big
Always seems
change.
to help.
Always helps. So you can actually track the progress. And they added a parry mechanic, which I can already see is going to be a game changer. And Brian Intara even explained how it works. So when you parry, there's going to be a yellow flash. When I saw the red, I thought that was, when I see red, I usually think that it means undodgeable. But when you see it, you're supposed to wait until it's red, and then that's the window where you're supposed to activate the parry. And if you do that, it will do immediate counterattack, and you'll do big damage. So you're gonna have to, so instead of just dodging all the time, you're gonna have to be able to mix in this parry mechanic, which definitely adds a lot to the combat. That's on top of the ability wheel, where you're gonna get where you get 4 abilities that go on cooldown, and of course the gadgets. But one of the cooler things that we found out is that we were speculating that maybe they'd have that switch mechanic where you can just press one button and switch from the symbiote to the advanced suit. But they kind of have a better version of that. So the meter that we thought meant the character switching that we saw under Peter's health bar with the symbiote symbol, that actually ended up being a rage mechanic similar to God of War.
Right.
And that rage mechanic is proof that Peter is Venom. I fucking knew it. I called it. I told everybody, Peter is Venom. Peter is Venom. He's going to be Venom, and that's how they're going to do it.
I mean, that makes sense, but I feel like I don't know if I'm ever gonna. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like him having the symbiote suit is kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, just in any capacity. Like, the symbiote is Venom, right?
Yeah, but
So, like,
people want to see the bulky version. They want to see
yeah,
they want to see the monster, and I can totally see that. But I think that's literally how they're going to do it, because when they actually show the rage mechanic, once you build up, he gets gets angry and rages out, and the suit actually transforms. This is actually a screenshot of it. You see the symbiote design changes when you're starting to rage out into this form, and it starts to resemble the Venom symbol that we saw on the Hawkeye Venom. And all of his attacks are much more powerful. So on weaker enemies, every attack you do is an instant knockout while you're in this mode. And you build up meter for it by doing combos and dodging like you normally expect. But the cool thing is, instead of you, so that's much better to me than the switching, but you can still kind of do it, and it's kind of better. So we found out that the symbiote abilities, none of the abilities they're not locked to any particular suit.
right.
The symbiote is basically just a suit, just like all the other suits. So you can take the symbiote abilities and you can just put them on the advanced suit or any other suit. So you can have basically any of Peter's other suits, including the Raimi Black Spider-Man 3 suit. You can that people wanted, and you can give that suit the symbiote abilities or the red suit, and you can also mix and match. So if you want the symbiote to use the iron arms because you like those better, you can just give the iron arms and put that on the symbiote. But if you want to mix them together, then you can have some of the ability wheels assigned to the symbiote abilities and some of them assigned to the iron arms, which I thought was a really cool mechanic, and I'd be very interested to see how that looks in actual combat. But I think that was a really good idea.
Yeah, all this sounds great. I again didn't have a great opportunity to watch anything the 19 inches. Yeah. Um to watch, I did see the trailers obviously, but I didn't see any of the videos for today cuz Thor had a vet appointment that I streamed. But dude, I honestly don't want to watch now Like I feel like I already know too much, and I know that's another
Oh,
that I loved. I
I'm
loved
going to
that.
tell you. I'm going to tell you even more.
Yeah, well, no, and that's fine. I mean, that's a position that we're in as creators. That's
Yeah.
gonna happen. But like, my thing is that like I like to go into these games seeing and knowing as little as possible because I want to experience it. You know what I mean? And um, so yeah, I'm so excited for the game. Like we are what less than a month away. Oh, just a little over a month away.
Yep, a
Like
little
5 weeks away, right?
Yeah, I think we're on day 34.
Yeah, so we're like less than 5 weeks away, which is another reason why I was like, guys, fucking relax. All right. It's almost here. They're gonna pick up their PR. Like, relax. I
So yeah, I just saw the Aaron tweet. So you can indeed, cause was literally I saw some weirdo trying to farm impressions by claiming that they added the web wings so they can get away with not upgrading the swinging. It was like, oh, they just added web wings and some new animations. So and they complained that you can't do new web things like loop de loops and stuff. Literally, you could do loop de loops. Only
yeah.
so so they actually upgrade. So they actually did. So the only actual negative is, and this is what Evan pointed out in this video, which I was surprised because no one else pointed out any flaws from what I saw, but Evan's the one that did. But he said the only flaw was that it looks like Peter is, I mean, it looks like Miles has basically no new air tricks. They're all a 1-to-1 from his game. They didn't add any new ones for him at all. But he does have the new swing animations, and obviously he'll be able to loop de loop too. But Peter does have a ton of new air tricks, which was the big thing. Peter, we were wondering how they would improve Peter's swinging because Miles was given a lot more style and options, and apparently he has a ton of really cool air tricks, including one where if you're in free fall, you can trigger this animation where he pulls out and solves a Rubik's cube while he's falling, and and then starts swinging.
Imagine if you just said pulls out and stopped there.
I mean, he if he had done that any later, he might actually have had a baby with a black cat. So, but apparently they added another quality of life change. Like in previous games, if you fell into the water, that was just it. You just fell into the water, and you had to jump back out and try to get your momentum back. But apparently in Spider-Man 2, if you fall into the water, instead of just plopping in, you start web surfing. You start surfing on the water, and it allows you to leap back into your swing.
Nice.
so it's all about just seamless transitions. That was a small but really cool quality of life change. And just on a technical level, the game is just obviously looks like a masterpiece. The graphics, the traffic, the details. They confirmed that they have 30, 40, and 60 FPS, all with ray tracing. That was a James Stevenson tweet. And the fast travel, holy shit!
Here's the crazy thing that like people couldn't even let them have their moment because it's so amazing the way that they're doing it. Like I saw somebody tweet, "Oh, look at this! I did this 10 years ago in Grand Theft Auto 5." Like, shut up.
Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto 5 was way slower.
Yeah.
Way slower. Like I remember the Grand Theft Auto 5 switching, and that's not even the fast travel, that's the character switching.
Right.
But yeah, their character switching is you hit this, you pull up the wheel, you select the character that you want to switch to, you select it, and then you slowly pan up, douche, douche, douche repeatedly,
Yeah.
and then it goes black, loads, picks up wherever they are overhead, little cutscene, and then you're you're into it. And Spider-Man 2, it's just switch, see
Yeah.
Peter on a web hammock or doing sit-ups, and you're back in there. But the fast travel, even like it was so like, because I remember the Miles Morales fast travel, you just got into the subway. It didn't take that long, but you got into the subway and then you just came out of it and just jogging out and ran it. But they showed in this one, you pick the area that you want to fast travel to, you fast travel, and then it just zooms into that section of the city and instantly loads it, and your character is just web gliding, and it just resumes in
Yeah.
in real time.
That's amazing.
I was like, what the fuck?
I did actually see that, and yeah, that's absolutely. I mean, I just can't wait for the game. You know what I mean?
I was sitting there watching the whole time, like, I'm gonna play this game so much.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine going back to the other games after this.
It's funny because like I almost feel like I'm gonna do like just a Peter Parker playthrough and only be Miles when I have to be, and then do like a Miles Morales playthrough and only be Peter when I have to be.
I
Like,
mean, you're going to have all those options because I'm definitely going to be playing as much as as much as possible. I'm gonna do everything. I'm going to definitely lean to the Miles first because
sure.
obviously, I'm not a bigot.
Well, I mean, you could argue since you're picking Miles that you are.
The best kind, though.
Is there a best kind?
Yes.
All right.
Uh,
We've argued once this month, so that was our quota. I'm
there we
out.
go. There we go. One thing I did notice that was weird because I was editing my video and I was pointing out that one of the part of the missions, you have the friendly neighborhood app is back, and you're gonna be able to use it to pick up on missions, and you'll have people contacting you about missions. And I was like, oh yeah, there's a mission where Miles goes to Brooklyn Visions Academy as Spider-Man, and he meets and his girlfriend Haley is there. And I was trying to find the clip of it from the state of play because I downloaded it from the YouTube upload and I couldn't find the scene. I'm like, where the fuck? I'm like, I know I didn't imagine this because I remember it watching it live. I'm like, I remember there was a scene where Miles is there. He was surrounded by the students and they were clapping for some reason. And they showed Haley and she was, doing that thing. And that's how they applaud. And
Oh yeah,
and
she's the deaf girl, right?
yeah. And I know I remember this from the state of play. Why isn't it here? So I literally went to the PlayStation. I went to the actual state of play upload on PlayStation, downloaded the whole thing, went and found the Spider-Man 2 section, cut that up, exported it, watched it through, and found the scene. And I realized I'm not crazy. This did exist, but they edited it out of the PlayStation upload for some reason. I don't know why. Just that scene, just that one scene. Because I'm so I was like, I felt I was going crazy because I'm like, I know this scene was in the state of play. Why where is Haley? why is why did they cut it out of the upload of the video? What the fuck? But but she's back. Rio, of course, is back looking delicious. And they're going to be, and they apparently they praised all the acting and the performances from everyone. I know they usually do a good job, but Yuri's performance absolutely next level, especially in that Craven the Hunter Bell Tower scene. His acting is just flawless. It's flawless. A little bit of the Sasuke came out, but he was really doing his thing. That was an amazing scene. It wasn't. I don't know. I think it was Comic Blast Keenan who said he didn't want to spoil that scene because he thought it was one of the best ever. And I'm like, it was a great scene, but I don't know about that.
Well, we all tend to romanticize the things we love, so I can understand why somebody would feel that way.
Yeah, I think it was so great that I was like, oh, I can't possibly show this,
Yeah.
But that's why I watched. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch it, and it was indeed fantastic. But I was like, yeah, this is I mean, this is not so great that I can't bear to watch it, but I'm glad I did. It was a fantastic scene. I mean, it was a Craven the Hunter in full Craven last hunt mode, using paying attention, using the environment. So this is a screenshot from the lab. So Peter, this is one of the missions that they showed. Peter is actually working together with Harry, and they're trying to work on some kind of serum. And there's a mission where you go inside the collider, and you have to dodge beams while you're in there. But they're working, and then that's when Craven's people attack, and the noise from the machine is disrupting the symbiote. So Peter almost gets captured,
So,
and
I,
that's when Harry rescues him. That's why he was in the background.
so when you said collider, it reminded me of a point I wanted to make earlier when you were talking about what Caboose had found as far as like possible Spider Verse.
Right.
Does that kind of go back to what Hip Hop Gamer was talking about?
The that's a good So Hip Hop Gamer, yeah, he mentioned that there was some kind of he said there was some kind of riff function that he thought was going to be similar to Rift Apart, and I guess he could be right about that. He thought it might be Spider Verse related, because he thought it was related to like the dimension like rift swapping feature. But I guess if we're being really charitable, he could have been referring just to the character switching and the fast travel,
Yeah.
because it is kind of similar in terms of the speed and the switching to the rift in the Ratchet and Clank game, where you're kind of just instantly going from one dimension to another. But
Yeah.
yeah, if we're being generous. But yeah, there is indeed some Spider-Verse stuff in here.
Yeah. So like that, look, I'm not like friends with Hip Hop Gamer or anything. I mean, I've always had great interactions with him over the years. I did also kind of vouch for him as like kind of an OG. I always kind of felt like he wouldn't just say that. Like I know like I know he's got connections. I also think it's something that I would have not said myself. But it seems like that was because I feel like he got roasted a little bit for that.
Well, he got roasted a lot for that.
And I feel like
He got roasted tremendously.
I haven't like seen him like vindicating himself, like being like, oh, vindication today, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, because I don't know if he can necessarily, because he wasn't. I think kind of hurts that he wasn't specific,
yeah.
because of how vague he was. Like he said, "Oh, Venom might be kind of playable, but might not. There's something that makes me think he's playable, so that could be something, or it's a rift. It's kind of a rift feature, but maybe not. That's why it might be Spider Verse, because dimension mechanic, and it's like, well, no, it's just character switching. The You got the seamless switching with you got the seamless fast travel transition, and you do have a side mission where there is Spider Verse, but it's not like. But I mean, at least so far, we don't know how it ends or anything. But we
Right.
know it. You're basically going around the city collecting spider bots, and the spider bots have like different Spider-Man suits and character and spider people attached to them on the spider bots, and they're trying to track down the source of it. So that seems to be the Spider-Verse connection. So I don't know, maybe he knew something, but he was trying to like dance around, kind
Right.
of, because obviously if you do have like inside information, you're technically not supposed to say anything.
And you're also trying to protect those people.
Yeah, yeah, like Jeff Grubb makes a career out of it, but he's kind of more like, oh yeah, well, I heard about the timeline for this game is this, or there's a state of play coming up here or something like that. But when you're getting into the mechanics of a game and stuff, you do have to be careful, about obviously if he signed an NDA, he wouldn't be able to say anything, which I'm assuming he didn't. But yeah, if someone told on the project told him some stuff, then obviously he would have to be more careful. But he seemed to just be willing to let it fly. So I don't know. So he just wasn't being very, I guess, well, we could say he wasn't being clear enough. But yeah, it just felt like he was saying something completely different, and there are ways you can interpret what he was saying. Is like kind of, oh yeah, I can kind of see maybe he was talking just about, oh okay, the character switching, that it's not like dimension jumping, but you're just seamlessly character switching, and you're seamlessly transitioning when you're fast traveling across the map, and there is a Spider-Verse there's a Spider-Verse component to it. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, again, I do feel like it's kind of probably more around trying to dance around it, where you're saying something without saying
Yeah,
like too much. So I feel like he was generally onto something. And I'm a credit where credit is due guy, and
yeah, for sure.
I just remember people roasting him really hard about it, and it turns out there might be some, at the bare minimum, there's some validity to what he said.
Definitely the playable Venom thing. I think that's the most on brand thing, on part right on the mark thing, because it definitely looks like Peter is going to temporarily transform into Venom. They already have the mechanic built into the combat, his rage meter, where the suit transforms. So I think within the story, his rage is going to make the suit transform fully into the Venom, and the big hulking Venom, and that'll be temporary. And I think someone else will get the symbiote, and he'll be the final Venom.
Yeah, and that's what I always kind of expected. See, I
Like
don't count.
we see it right here. This is the rage mode. You
Yeah.
see how this the white spider design changed to look more like Venom.
See, to me though, that doesn't count as, oh, our Venom is somebody else. You know what I mean? Like Peter, technically speaking, anytime Peter has the symbiote suit on, he's Venom.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, that doesn't necessarily count. If they're just going to have the suit end up on Eddie anyway, you know what I mean? Or maybe Harry, because
I believe what they said. It's not Eddie.
Well,
unless they're pulling an Arkham Knight, but they were very specific when they said Eddie Brock is not Venom.
Yeah.
So this is
well,
one.
were they
This is
though?
one
Because
of
like
Spider-Man.
I still remember
Yes.
my buddy. I still remember my buddy Chris Baker. He did a really good breakdown on the video, and he knows Brian very well. And I don't remember his like the verbiage he used, but his takeaway was that Brian wasn't necessarily saying Eddie will never be Venom in this game.
He didn't say never. He said he's not Venom. And Aaron, as community manager, Aaron said very firmly, Eddie Brock is not Venom. Very like there was several arguments on Twitter, and someone was like, I still think Eddie's going to be Venom, and someone responded like, yeah, he's not. And he was like, you don't know that. And Aaron was like, I do. Eddie's not Venom. So
Well,
seems like they're very insistent that Eddie Brock is not Venom.
I hope they're Gotham Knighting us, or not Gotham, Arkham Knighting us.
Yeah,
because everybody's very specific that the Arkham Knight was not Jason Todd.
Yeah, so that's why I don't think it's that's why I tend to believe them, because I don't think Insomniac would do that. They haven't done that so far. Like they do rely on like misdirection and stuff with their marketing, but they haven't outright like straight up lied. Like and I don't think they would want to invite that, because Rocksteady got a lot of heat for that.
I don't see the benefit of it either, because like what benefit do you really have of like, oh, there's the big shock, Eddie Brock is Venom? No way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really feel like you get anything out of that. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, because I definitely do think just knowing Insomniac, it makes perfect sense that they wouldn't go to Eddie either, because they would want to subvert those. They like to subvert expectations,
right.
In that regard, and like everybody would think is. That's why I think they're setting up Harry to be the anti-Venom, because they're basically, if you look at the story they've shown so far, they're basically kind of telling their version of the Eddie Brock cancer storyline, where he gets cured by Martin Lee and it turns him into the anti-Venom, but Harry is the one that's sick instead. So there's definitely a lot of ways where a Sandman can like twist it. And also shout out to Mysterio for being in the game. Finally.
Well, I was gonna say something like, remember when we were doing that? I think it was on Doom's show this weekend, and I think he said which villain do you want to see in the game, and I was like, oh, Mysterio, like for sure. So yeah.
My picks were Mysterio and Sandman. I really wanted to see them.
Now that was supposed to be Mysterio right there that we just went by, right?
Yep, in the trailer. So I think I think the guy they showed is no, he's not. The guy they showed is
or Jewish.
bigot.
No, I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what Mysterio looks like under the helmet, other than Jake Gyllenhaal. So
I've seen a few pictures in the comics. He definitely doesn't look like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. All right. So but see, he's got like the fuzz.
I see why he wears the helmet though.
Yeah, like, but like, you see where I'm coming from, right? Like, I thought he was just a lighter skinned.
I mean, he's pretty light.
American gentleman.
I mean, he's pretty white.
But he also might just
might be mixed.
Jewish.
Or mixed.
Yeah.
Again, honestly, Jay, I don't see race, so this never occurred to me.
Yeah. No, it's just something that like caught like my attention, because it was more like I said, because I don't ever remember seeing under the helmet. Mysterio has always just been the guy with the fishbowl. You know what I mean?
Well, I saw one comic book scan, and he kind of just has like a ugly bowl cut, like from the dude from the Three Stooges.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Hammerhead. Yeah, he's not with a worse haircut, so not miss anything. Not miss anything.
Well, you're not alone in wanting Sandman. So
Sandman would be goated, but
I feel like you got to start. Like, you gotta like focus on Sandman. Sandman can't like you think about like Rhino's part in the last game, right?
Right.
Like you can't have Sandman be a Rhino. Like he has to have a focal point.
I think he'd be great for Spider-Man 3, because I think they're going to do Hydro Man. They teased him along with Big Will and Speed Demon in the story trailer. So I think if they do Hydro Man in here, that would be cool. I don't think they would need to have both of them in the same game. I think Sandman would be a great addition to Spider-Man 3, along with Green Goblin, if they want to go that route.
And I think you could do a heavy dose of Sandman and Green Goblin together.
Oh, for sure.
But Mysterio, I don't need like if you give me like a Mr. Freeze arc, like from Gotham Knights for Mysterio, you know, just like, here's the chapter of Mysterio, a little bit here, you know, like 3 or 4 hours of stuff maybe.
So that it looks like those are the activities that are signaling for Mysterio. So no one has done them yet, but that's clearly the Mysterio symbol. And so those are going to be, because they have points of interest all over the map. They have this kind of new way of signaling the points of interest, and they signal different types of missions. So they're going to have some that trigger like arena battles where you fight Kraven's people, and you have the weird dimension things that are weird signals for the spider bots. Those are spider bot missions, and then these are what we could assume are going to be Mysterio, but no one played those missions yet, so we don't know what the side missions are yet for Mysterio, but that's definitely the Mysterio symbol.
Yeah. Well, I'm hyped for it, because like I said, I like Mysterio a lot, like as just a character, and I remember I just remember like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 mission with Mysterio being really cool. Oh God, what did Avi Arad in 2006 say? Aw, you have me as a search.
Uh, of course. So there was some other news that I ended up reporting. Someone I think his name is Tiff Somniac. He was posting some like unused developer commentaries, like digging through some old stuff, and he found that there was some old footage where it sounded like it was kind of going over like one of their first swing tests, and in the swing test demo, it looked like they had Green Goblin. So he ran a search because he's a PC modder. So he looked through the files because you could still find old assets from the previous game. And so he looked around in the files to see if there was any remnants of Green Goblin, and there were files designated for Green Goblin. So he looked and see if there were any other unused villains that were originally, set aside or started work on for Spider-Man Remastered, and he found a bunch. They had Green Goblin, Carnage, the Spot, the Lizard. They had Chameleon. Just a bunch of really interesting Spider-Man names, and the Tinkerer, and several of them we know they ended up using later. The Tinkerer ended up being the main boss for Miles.
This is my favorite Spider-Man villain.
This random guy. Yeah, he definitely looks he actually does look like a Spider-Man villain in a Raimi movie.
Like a racist guy.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh,
but
search for it.
I think Chameleon is going to be in this because one of the things that people saw in the Spider-Man preview event, when they had one of the attractions they had set up was Craven's Lounge, and he got to kind of walk around, sit in his chair, but he had a family tree posted, and in the family tree, one of the names were crossed out, and people think it was Chameleon's name because he's Craven's half brother, and we know he's already in Spider-Man Sonic Universe because Peter referenced him in Spider-Man PS4 as thinking he might have been impersonating him again.
Is this true? Hydro Man? I feel like I've definitely fought Hydro Man in a game. But it might have been Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Let me look. Hydro Man.
Like, I know I've done a Hydro Man boss battle before, but I don't remember what game it was.
Let me see. Hydro Man boss fight.
Yeah, that's a good search.
Fight video game. What's this from? I don't recognize this game, but you're fighting Hydro Man as Mysterio?
Huh.
What is this game?
I don't know.
Let me put it on. I've never seen this game before. Maybe you are familiar with it.
Oh, I think I'm looking at the same video. This is Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
All right,
no, I'm sorry. Marvel Future Fight. I think
Marvel Future Fight. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Marvel Future Fight. There was a Hydro Man boss battle. Yeah. Yeah. I think this is Marvel Future Fight. Somebody can confirm. I deleted that game so long ago.
I've never tried it. I feel like this looks a little advanced for Future Fight, but I don't know.
They got pretty good with some of this stuff. It is Spider-Man says it's Future Fight.
This is actually what Future Fight looks like.
Some of the game modes, not all of them.
Okay.
This is a very specific game mode.
It looks pretty good for a mobile game.
Yeah.
For an older mobile game, I should say, because there are definitely some mobile games that look absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And like,
so that's probably what I was thinking of. This was the legendary battle from Far From Home. Yeah. That makes sense. So that's probably what I was thinking of. I was like, when I was thinking about Hydro Man boss battle.
Yeah, but in terms of like a mainline like story driven Spider-Man game, I guess not.
And the reason why I thought about it is because I probably fought it as Spider-Man.
Yeah, because we didn't. Because I know because he wasn't in the Raimi movies, and we never got movie tie-ins for the
Far From Home
from the MCU, and there's none in Web of Shadows or Shadow Dimension. I don't think
mobile games don't count. I mean,
I mean they're video games, so
yeah,
they do count. but no, so not on console. We'll say no console boss fights for Hydro Man yet. So we're past due in that regard. So I think Insomniac definitely teased Hydro Man, and I would love to fight him because if can't have Sandman, Hydro Man is the next best thing. I'm absolutely all about it. I would love to fight Hydro Man. He's a great villain, and that'd be another one of those big set piece fights where Miles and Peter have to team up. And I feel like Miles would be really useful in that fight. With the just gotta be careful.
Oh, one of my other favorite takes was when somebody posted that map, and they're like, "Oh, of course they're doing New York City again."
Oh my god,
lazy devs.
I don't believe any of them. I don't believe anyone with a take like that actually owns a PlayStation 5. I don't. Yeah. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
I don't believe you're not a Spider-Man fan and you don't own a PlayStation 5. I think that's just absolute nonsense. Like that's definitely a PS4 or Xbox player or PC player. There's no Spider-Man fan would ever say something that stupid. Yeah, JayShockblast definitely played Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we opened the show with my few minutes talking about how amazing it is. So I'm glad somebody else is enjoying it.
And how we got to hang out with Ed Boon. Yeah, we know.
I mean, very briefly. Very briefly. But it was cool. He made me feel like he possibly might have remembered when I helped his daughter play Lego Worlds at E3 in 2017. But I don't think he did.
It's a nice theory.
Yeah.
I think you should hold on hope for that one.
I will hold on to hope that he actually did remember me, but I don't think he did. Ironically, though, you'd mentioned Sonic Fox. That is where I met Sonic Fox.
Oh, nice.
So
I hear he's a nice guy.
They are nice people.
They are nice people. Oh,
I believe.
Sonic. You think is Sonic Fox non-binary? I thought Sonic Fox was just gay and a furry.
I believe they are a them
non-binary gay furry. Okay.
Yeah.
shoot your shot. Interesting. They blurred out some of the icons during this part on the map. So I'm guessing there are some missions that Brian didn't want us to see. some names, which is interesting because they didn't. Because maybe they were just like points of interest or something that are
now here's my real question. Okay, now when there are people with guns on rooftops, are they all snipers in this game?
Some of them are.
No. I don't know. Maybe I'm not like in the first game. I just remember a scene where I had to rush through the city,
right?
And every single one of them motherfuckers was a goddamn sniper with machine guns.
Oh yeah, that was because of Sable International. They all had. That's when basically the whole city was on lockdown and everyone was hunting Spider-Man.
Yes, and none of them were stormtroopers. Like every single one of them was elite forces.
Sounds like a skill issue, but
that was coming.
But I don't think. Yeah, I don't. They're definitely snipers. I remember someone
I
mentioning.
figured there would be actual snipers, but I
Yeah,
didn't mean it that way.
yeah. Someone mentioned that part of it is you'll have like Craven snipers, but it's not going to be completely like that. The points of interest are different. Like some of the Craven stuff gets triggered by you just seeing like a Craven drone flying around, and you have to chase the drone to lead you to the bad man's. Sometimes it's like the holographic thing that you touch, and it leads you to a point of interest. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of variety there, and I cannot wait to check out Coney Island because we saw in the deluxe edition suit trailer, which by the way, suits definitely look much better in gameplay. You can some of them still are, some are definitely better than others, but they overall look much better when you actually see them in combat because
Shocker.
yeah, they just look pretty bland when just sitting on the PlayStation backdrop.
Oh my god, that one looked like Cobra Commander.
Yeah, these are actually pretty fire. But they did in that trailer they showed Coney Island, and there's definitely a mission there in Coney Island where you're
Eating
trying
hot dogs.
Eating hot dogs and saving people from impending doom because looks
Goes
like
hand in hand.
it looks like the boardwalk is getting destroyed and you're trying to people keep falling in. Someone shooting rockets at you while you're flying over the road. It's all sorts of got to save people from the roller coaster. There's all such stuff going on. It's gonna be crazy. I can absolutely not wait for this game.
Yeah, man. I'm with you.
So Metacritic scores go up once games journalists have review access. So whenever the games journalists are sent review copies and the review embargo lifts,
Just
that's
go ahead and mark it down at like 97 now.
yeah, very much. But yeah, basically whenever the review embargo lifts, the journalists will give their reviews, and then Metacritic will start tallying up the score from the games journals, and then once the game launches, they'll add the actual user score. Once players get access to it, then they'll be able to contribute their user score. But I mean, unless something dramatic happens, I mean, I don't see how this goes below a 9.
Yeah.
On medic.
I feel like it's they've already earned the respect where like think about like a Zelda game, the review scale starts at 9.
Yeah, because I remember Miles was like Miles and Spider-Man PS4 were both in like the mid 80s. Spider-Man got to 87, and I think Miles ended up settling on 85 from the reviewers. I feel Spider-Man 2 definitely is God of War. I think level where you're starting at 10 and working your way down from there. I think they're finally getting. I think Sonic's finally getting the PlayStation exclusive respect that they just hand God of War because it's a gritty RPG with lots of cutscenes. So, I mean, because Spider-Man 2 just technically so impressive. And, like I don't know how you can't. I mean, just look at it.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get lost in that one.
I really hope I get a review copy. I don't care. I don't even care about not getting invited to LA. I just want the review copy.
Yeah, I think in a lot of cases that, like, listen, who doesn't want a free trip to LA?
I don't.
Hearing,
I don't like traveling.
Yeah, I know that, but like, here's the thing though, like, when I went to Redfall, we didn't record anything there either. So like, and I was before we went, I was asked about that by Bethesda's person, and she'd asked me my thoughts on events like that, and I said, listen, as long as you make it interesting and engaging, I think it's just going to come down to the individual and whether or not they want to take a trip to that place to do that thing. And I feel like there's no loss in doing this, you
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
like getting
you're still getting a big advantage. Like as long as they're sending you back, like they sent everyone that went to play Spider-Man 2 back with like exclusive gameplay footage.
right. So like, and they got the experience, you know,
Yeah,
like those, like that, like setup they set up was really cool, you know, like, and they got to obviously interact with each other and all that. And
yeah. So
like,
I think it was definitely more than worth it.
yeah, and like those events are huge, like because number one, you've got an opportunity to have actual FaceTime with, you know, devs
And
and
another producing network
and
with
other
other creators.
creators. And that's why I'm like I've become friends with Caboose and Uncaged Games because in 2017, they WB flew me out to LA for Lego DC Supervillains, and they were there for that. And you know, I met a bunch of creators there, and it was my first event like that. I had never done these before, and I didn't know anybody there, and like they made me feel welcome, and I always thought that was cool. I didn't really know who either one of them were. I had like seen them before, but I didn't really know anything about them. And there was a couple other creators that were there that I thought I interacted with, you know, pretty well. And there was another person who I'm not even going to say their name because I don't even think they do video game content anymore. But I knew who they were, and I thought we vibed really well. We talked like all night at dinner, and like I thought that when we got back, we would do something together.
Go on
Like
a date.
literally ghosted me,
Well,
and never. I've literally never spoken to this person again. And
no reach around or nothing.
so sometimes that's just the way it goes. But you know, you make good friends and you get opportunities like that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm surprised they didn't fly you out to play Spider-Man 2.
I don't have any interaction with PlayStation, you know, like
It
uh
felt like I feel like they just were sending just everybody with a for almost everybody with a high sub count, even people who didn't even cover Spider-Man.
yeah, I do sometimes think that's a little weird. But you know, hey, I've gotten opportunities like that too. Like I why would I get invited to Mortal Kombat, you know? Like
I mean, you're one of the best Mortal Kombat players in the world. Why would you?
I mean, I mean the first time. So this is the second go around of Mortal Kombat for me. So for Mortal Kombat 11, I got invited to the reveal. I got invited to the studio. You know, so I was in LA and Chicago, and really ultimately it came down to having good relationships
Yeah,
with Alan and Cammy. You know, and I play a lot of Injustice, so and I was excited for Mortal Kombat, but you know, it was definitely interesting. Uh, and I don't know. It is what it is, but like, yeah, it's I don't. I saw some people getting really disappointed that they didn't go, and I'm like, yeah, but like you can't look at it that way. Like, I mean, everybody. There's so many people that are deserving of
yeah,
going.
yeah. I didn't feel like I for the most part I didn't mostly feel bad because I saw like there was only one person there who got invited who I was like a bigger creator than. Like, you know, I was massively bigger than this person, but even still, just looking at the names who for the most part who were there, like they're everyone for almost everyone, you know, was either with a big game journalist company or if they were a creator, they had like, you know, hundreds of thousands or even millions of subscribers. So so I was like, yeah, for sure, it makes sense. Like I was like, I know obviously know I'm the second biggest creator of Spider-Man 2 on the entire platform. But you know, but if you're only looking at subscribers, I only have, you know, 61,000 right now. So so it makes sense if they're just going for those high sub count figures and not necessarily looking at, you know, the views or anything like that. So I definitely understand. I was like, yeah, I'm not big on traveling, and I know that I only just got my foot in the door with Sony, and I don't even know how reliable that is. You know,
Yeah,
I got the controller and the plates, but I didn't get a heads up about the event. Most likely, I what the if they did send the stuff out like the event invites out like that much in advance, it makes perfect sense that I didn't get an invite because I didn't, you know, send an inquiry to Sony until probably after the invites were already sent, based on the timeline. If your timing is correct,
yeah.
so by the time they hit me back about the opportunity, they probably had already sent out the invites for the LA thing, so they didn't. So it wasn't even worth mentioning. So I'm not even sweating about that. Like as long as I get the review copies, yeah, I'll be perfectly fine. Like I'm not sweating a trip to LA. But shout out to Skill Up. He turned down the opportunity to have Sony pay for everything. He obviously has enough money to do it himself, but he in his hands-on preview, he specifically said he refused to accept their money and he flew himself out there. So I guess so he can be more impartial. I don't care.
Yeah,
You want to pay for me to go?
I mean, good for him. I mean, I had to fly myself out to LA for Summer Game Fest, but man, you know,
It's expensive, bro.
yeah, yeah, like,
I mean, we all don't have skill up money. I mean, even Jay doesn't have skill up money. So.
dude, I don't have skill money, like skill or up, you know.
Yeah, that's good for skill up, I guess. That was quite a. I was like, I took it as he was trying to show he's impartial and he's just not going to show. But I took it as like a hard flex.
Yeah, I feel like when you're at that point as he is, like I didn't really know much about him until I actually like downloaded one of his. So back when Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out, you could like download people's like their lieutenant essentially and have them in your crew. And because I was playing early access, the only people I could download from were devs or other content creators.
Right.
So I ended up with his person. And I ended up like Googling. I was basically every time I downloaded somebody, I would Google the name like to see who it was. And that's how I found out about him. So yeah, but like I feel like since then I've seen enough. Like one of the devs from TT Games actually quote tweeted Skill Up's review of some game. I don't remember which one, and basically saying that he trusts this person's take so much that he wasn't going to get the game now, you know? So like obviously he's very well respected. I don't think you have to do that to prove your unbiased. But I will say, like, and we've had this conversation before, you get these opportunities, you do these things, you meet these people, like, it will 100% like influence at least a little, how harsh you might want to be.
Mhm.
Like, I will absolutely pull my punches if I have to, like, for people that are I know are good people that I don't want to shit on, you know what I mean? But I would do that in life too. So it's easier when they're like faceless cogs in a wheel, you know? So I don't know. Just I don't think he had to do that, but if that's what he wants to do, more power to him.
Yeah, it's admirable, I would say, but
Yeah.
I would definitely take the money.
That's a good way to put it. Admirable.
Yeah, so but and Skill Up is like one of the few reviewers I trust when it comes to game anyway. Because even if I don't agree with him, I feel like he does a really good job of just outlining the facts and being as impartial as possible. I also wanted to briefly talk about this uni situation.
Oh God.
This kind of took over certain parts of Twitter, and it was kind of baffling to me because I'm I'm not a game dev obviously, but I know a little bit of stuff. I know a little about engines and Unreal is the most popular one, but I know of, but Unity I know is pretty huge as well, particularly with indie developers. And when I heard about this, I was like, wait, what? What the fuck is happening? So basically, this is like a classic example of corporate greed going
Yeah.
going horribly wrong. So Unity basically powers a ton of games. There's a very popular game engine. A lot of developers use it for both. A lot of many indie games rely on it. Some larger games use it as well. And coincidentally, the CEO started selling off their stock, and then days later, they announced that they were making a change and they're going to start charging developers a fee every time somebody installs their game.
Yeah. Imagine retroactively changing a contract. I don't even know how this is legal.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the game industry that I feel like is explicitly illegal and violates like all of our many business laws and regulations, and
I
they
gotta
just let slide.
I gotta share this, okay? I'm not gonna lie. The situation is so touchy. I was afraid to repost this on Twitter, but it's too funny
Repost it
not to.
here.
Yeah. So this is something one of my my former roommate tweeted.
Love these apology letters. These are always this is one of my favorite parts of gaming.
Unity community, we are listening. Upon reflection, we realized we should have sought more input from our community and valued partners before implementing such a significant change. We fell short in this aspect, and for that we are genuinely sorry. We've always prided ourselves on the transparent and symbiotic relationship we have with our user base. Unity's success story is intrinsically linked to the achievements and growth of our developers. Effective immediately, we'll be taking a 50% revenue split from your games and investing it directly in the AI technology you love. We also might buy another adware company or launch a third SRP. Shut the fuck up and take it. That might be one of the greatest memes I have ever seen. And it was so good that I was afraid to post it. Like, it's that good. And I'm so glad I got to see your reaction to it. Because holy shit. I just want to buy a beer for whoever made that. I know my friend Jake did not make that.
Oh, that's so good.
My former roommate, 6'11", and yeah,
No,
I had to share his height, obviously.
You got to post it. I'll fucking post that. I don't care. It's fucking funny.
All right. I'm gonna tweet it right now.
Oh my god.
All right. I want to buy whoever created this a beer.
Oh my. You had me in the first half, not gonna lie.
Oh, did you think it was legit?
I thought,
when I put it up there?
Yeah, I thought it was I thought they just actually posted an apology because I know they backtrack because I did read that they backtracked like a little bit on some stuff and we're trying to like desperately backpedal because of all the shit they were taking, and I thought they had finally released like a real apology. That completely caught me off guard.
That third paragraph is like
masterful.
Yeah,
that's fucking masterful.
Yeah,
I could definitely. And I think what's funniest about it is I could definitely see them doing that because their initial plan was just so transparently evil.
Yeah.
like imagine like just for people who don't understand like how gross and ridiculous this policy is. It's not just every time someone installs your game, you get charged. If someone deletes and reinstalls, that counts. If someone illegally pirates your game and downloads it, it counts. If you download it on your PC and then download it on a different device, it counts.
Yeah, I saw it even will potentially affect like keys being given out to creators. I saw Sean from Evolve PR had a little tweet string about it.
Yeah.
It was more about like people that request like 9 keys and how it's weird. And like if you get your request answered and it's only like 1 or 2 keys, your response shouldn't be what the fuck you screwed up, you know? Because apparently that's a thing. Like, yeah, can I have 9 keys? I'm afraid to ask for 1 key for
9
myself.
keys is crazy.
Yeah. So,
Apparently, it also would count towards Game Pass. But one of the ways they backtracked was that it was like, oh well, we're not going to make the developers responsible for the fee on for Game Pass downloads. We're just going to make Microsoft responsible. So Microsoft hosts games on Game Pass that use Unity. They be getting to charge the bullshit fees. So they, for some reason, they thought that was better. Okay, instead of bankrupting the developers, you're gonna try to put that on Microsoft. All Microsoft's going to do is not have games on their on Unity games on their platform.
yeah.
This was like the action of someone who just is just like apparently the CEO, we found out, it used to work at EA during like the era of EA where they were considered one of the worst companies in all of gaming. So this actually checks out because this is bad on every level. It not only is terrible for Unity as a business, but it would hurt large swaths of gaming, and it's only going to be a temporary thing, because if everyone just leaves, first of all, it opens the door up for your competition, because what you did was so transparently stupid that anyone could literally just say, oh, you use our engine, fuck
Right.
them.
And not only that, but like I saw a side-by-side comparison of like what all those different engines charge, and like it is astronomically different. And like basically your game would have to be successful, like very successful, to pay out like what is actual proper, licensing
Yeah,
fees, you know?
but they had nothing in terms of protection against abuse, and the responses were absolutely hilarious. They just like copy and pasted the same reply, saying that they were that they had what they thought was a first step towards addressing it, and they just copy and paste that in response to everything. Like no matter, like they say, oh, we have a step that we think we could take to address potential fraud. And I'm like, we're not even asking you about fraud. We're literally just asking you about somebody downloading it on more than one device or reinstalling. Oh, we have a way to address that. They had no response. It's like they didn't even think this through. They just do it. They just, someone probably CEO just like, how can we just squeeze more money out of developers? Oh yeah, let's charge per download, and just didn't even think beyond that. That this is definitely a decision somebody who actually isn't a game dev or doesn't know anything about it would do. So I definitely think this was all the CEO. He just told everyone, just figure out a way to make it work. Because this is such an astronomically stupid decision.
Yeah.
There's no way this doesn't get walked back unless Unity just wants to go under.
Maybe that's why they all sold their stock,
Yeah,
which
that's the other
also
thing.
is kind of shady.
That's also illegal. But yeah,
Yeah.
this 100%. Yeah. Selling your stock days before making a dramatically horrible business policy update that tanks your stock
Yeah.
and loses you a bunch of clients. Yeah, that definitely seems sus. I'm not. I think that there's a lot of investigations that need to happen over at Unity over that one. So good luck to any developers, but I feel like they should definitely. I feel like with enough pressure, they're going to roll it back. But I hope the developers, take this period to start transitioning off of Unity, because
Yeah.
they've lost all trust. Like there's no going back from this.
Yeah. Nothing will send a message more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just leave the platform. But we haven't talked about your favorite show yet, Ahsoka. I'm up to season 3 of Rebels.
Oh, wow.
Still enjoying it. And what I've been doing is I basically just watch Rebels throughout the week, and then I basically watch Ahsoka on Friday, like right before the show. And I'm trying to eventually finish Rebels, but maybe I'll do it before next week's Ahsoka. But I watched Ahsoka. I saw you made a comment about how there's a lot of yapping. and it was. I thought they did some parts well, but a lot of stuff in this episode was incredibly stupid. Like, like once again, Hans Christian Andersen carried. Anakin is that guy. I mean, the de-aging mostly look really good. I like the dream sequence where they're going through the Clone Wars, but
seeing live action Captain Rex,
yeah,
that was dope.
But young Ahsoka was extremely annoying.
You know what's crazy? I the whole time I'm like, who is that? And it's freaking young Gamora.
Oh yeah, Gamora.
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, who is that? She looks so familiar. It's literally young Gamora, and it's perfect."
Yeah, her lightsaber skills are actually really impressive, but way better than Rosario Dawson's. But yeah, they did the dialogue they gave her. It was just so irritating, but the lightsaber fight between Anakin and Ahsoka, holy shit, this was bad. I mean, wow.
There's a lot of people calling it the best piece of Star Wars that Disney has done.
That tells you everything you need to know about the quality of Disney, because Hayden Christensen. So to be clear, Hayden Christensen is very, very good. Like you can tell he actually put in a lot of work to learn the choreography, practice sword fighting. He's fantastic. The problem, and it kind of harks back to like the old times of before Disney ruined Star Wars, where the lightsaber fights used to actually be considerably better, at least faster pace. Like think it back to the Phantom Menace fight at the end between Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan. Just if you look back on that choreography, it makes sense. It's very fast and explosive, and you can see the problem with the Disney Star Wars lightsaber fights, particularly in Ahsoka. Like they should have used a stunt double for Ahsoka for her parts, because the reason why I say it looks so bad is because Hayden Christensen is obviously very good. Like it's so obvious. He's all his attacks are fast, explosive, precise. And Rosario Dawson's is sitting there like
it's her lightsaber stance.
But she's going so slow. Like it's to the point where she's literally, you can literally, if you slow it down, you can literally see like he's attacking intentionally to points so that she can move the saber to, like he's avoiding obvious opportunities to just kill her, and just so they can make the choreography work, because she's moving so slow. And you can tell there was some reshoots there, because in the later sequences he's moving much slower. Like when they first fight, it's just he's just attacking her like boom 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 boom, and she just going like trying to barely keep up. And then in the next time they fight, he's like he's fighting a 10-year-old trying to teach a 10-year-old
Yeah,
how to do a lightsaber. And it looks so unbelievably bad. Like I was just like, please go back to talking. I couldn't watch anymore. It looked horrible. And also, did I miss something with Ahsoka? Does her species not need air? Because she needed air to be in space during that ridiculous space fight where she took on 3 starships at the same time. But she was just underwater for like literally hours, unconscious.
Yeah, I don't know if like I don't know about she's a Togruta is the name of her race, and I mean I would think she would need air. I've never Shock T is another famous Togruta, and I don't remember ever seeing her underwater.
I mean, she used a spacesuit, so she at the very least needed some
Well, I mean,
protection.
but converting, water to oxygen is a little bit different than being in
Hmm.
space,
Yeah, there are a lot of other variables to space, but
Yeah.
I don't remember ever reading anywhere that Ahsoka doesn't need oxygen or
Yeah,
could breathe underwater.
I don't know about that. That obviously, it's not a situation where she was there for like a few minutes.
Yeah, it was literally like hours. Like she
Listen, Sadot, the Force.
the force. She's the force. Like that's the thing.
The Force.
They could even explained it. Like, oh, she's like when Princess Leia got shot and blown out of her ship and in the space and just floated there. They were like, oh, she's not dead because I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
That's actually one of the worst scenes in the history of Star Wars.
And you knew they thought they cooked. You could tell they were high-fiving each other in the writer's room.
Yeah, it's the magic. It was magic water.
It's magic water. That makes sense. Like they offered no explanation. They were just like, "Oh yeah, she's just in the."
Maybe they will in the next episode. Did you ever think of that?
I mean, I don't think so because they moved on. Like she flew up a whale's ass and like and
no, she went through the front. Okay, like let's get it right. There were teeth involved.
Okay, she went in the front and settled in the back.
No, that's not better. That's not better.
And then they flew. And then they went through hyperspace. Well, so I think they moved on. They're not going to explain how she stayed underwater for for many hours. They were searching for her, and like when she was unconscious the whole time, and then when she woke up, she didn't look like she was any. It looked like she didn't need air because when she woke up, she wasn't like in a hurry to like start swimming. She was just chilling, waiting for her to be rescued. What even was Anakin? Pretty sure he's supposed to be a Force ghost.
Yeah, I feel like that she was like in the. I think they call it the world between worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what it was. It might have just been a dream,
It was the Force. It was the Force.
The Force.
It was the Force. Don't ask questions. Just consume.
Yeah.
Consume
I mean,
product.
listen. Sometimes you gotta turn your brain off and watch.
Watch horrible lightsaber combat. like how are people glazing that like absolute dog water fight sequence?
Ahsoka.
The choreography isn't terrible. You will not look closely. You will not watch in 0.5 speed.
Yeah, I think the bigger part that I'm confused about is why they're giving Hera so much shit. Like, I feel like it's a legitimate. Like, there's legitimacy. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why they're like hunting her down the way they are.
Or
Like,
why she's bringing her child. Maybe that's why.
well,
They're like, stop bringing that child.
Well, it's a damn good thing they did bring that child because he's the one that found Ahsoka. He could hear it all in the water.
Yeah, I mean, didn't Chopper end up the one finding Ahsoka anyway?
Well, I mean, sort of, I guess. I don't know.
Which begs the question: how did Chopper scanners find Ahsoka from the shore and the ships literally flying over her with vastly superior scanning technology and range?
Listen, you obviously don't know Chopper very well.
I'm getting to know Chopper from Rebels. He's very cool. I mean, kind of an asshole, but but he's very cool. I don't think he has better scanning than two ships. I'm gonna say.
I don't know. They're only X-wings.
Yeah, yeah, true. So
it's not their primary purpose.
Yeah.
Although Luke did find Han. No, he was in a wing. Never mind.
Yeah. So maybe the ships just trash.
Yeah.
Which begs the question: why are you using them?
Because they're fightings. They're fighter ships.
To search for Ahsoka in the water. Apparently, they didn't even need to because once she woke up, she could have just swam herself back to the shore because it's not like she needed air. So it was just a matter of time before she got herself out of it. anyway, so there wasn't even that much sense of urgency because I mean, as long as they were searching, you would assume, oh, she's definitely dead by now. I mean, I think she's been in the water for what, out like she fell in during the day. It's nighttime now. We've been searching for hours.
Yeah. Well, all's well that ends well. It'd be really bad if she died.
I mean,
being the name of the show.
yeah, that would be unfortunate. If there was no Ahsoka, then we'd be stuck with Sabine for the rest of this the traitor.
Speaking of Sabine, where is she? I actually thought we would end up seeing Thrawn way sooner in the season.
I mean, they got to build it up. You got to. I mean, they've spent so much time, on scenes where people are staring at each other and long shots of rocks. You gotta savor it, Jay. That's how filmmaking is.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think is kind of funny is this has spawned a lot of talk about a live action Clone Wars show. And I know that Ewan McGregor is like dying to do like Obi-Wan season 2,
Hello
which
there.
makes no sense. But I mean, it would be tough though, because like I know you could de-age both of them a little bit and everything, but to properly get Anakin and Obi-Wan to be the age they're supposed to be, like during that era, I don't know, it might be a little tough.
I don't think they should do a live action Clone Wars show because
It would just be them all talking at a table.
Yeah, live action Star Wars is dog shit. They should just make another animated show.
Yeah, I mean the animated shows all hit because you can do so much more with it.
Yeah, I'm just imagining how cheap and poorly written the live action Clone Wars show would be. I'm not. If it's as bad as Obi-Wan, I'm not interested. I'm not. I'm not. I'm kind of at my quota for live action Star Wars after this. Like Ahsoka is. I mean, the best thing I could say about Ahsoka is that it's not it's not as bad as the first few episodes of Boba Fett, but we're getting to the point where it's where the Boba Fett just gets much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, we keep talking about it is like they're not action driven series, and it's just strange to me that they can't find a way to do that. Like, it doesn't even have to be all action based, but it definitely needs to be interesting. And I feel like you look at what they did with Daredevil. There's a lot of dialogue in Daredevil, but Daredevil keeps moving. Like there's constant movement. It doesn't feel like you're all like standing in place and just talking in a room.
The dialogue is actually good. That that helps too.
Well, there are times where it could drag a little bit, though, and it gets the benefit of the doubt because that there's going to be a payoff. Whereas with a lot of these scenes, you don't,
because there's usually not a payoff. And
right.
and yeah, my thing is just it looks like if you're gonna do dialogue heavy, like Andor, I thought did dialogue much better, and there was actual payoff there. And with Ahsoka, it feels like the dialogue isn't very good. It's not very well acted, and the action scenes, everything just looks cheap and like rushed and like just not up to par. Like they like the characters clearly did not do much training with for the most part with lightsabers. The costumes and practical effects look pretty cheap. They're obviously using their it looks like they're using their sound stage. It's just like it just doesn't look like a large budget production, and it doesn't look like they're compensating by just being skillful or anything. It just looks like it looks almost fan made at times. It's just like, and it's just me hard seeing that this used to be Star Wars. This is huge, big budget spectacle, and this is this is what it is now. It's just like Daredevil, didn't have space lasers and giant whales to fly up, but but the action, the choreography was top tier. The direction, the editing, everything was precise. Like that hallway fight scene, still one of the best moments in cinematic history.
I watched Charlie Cox do an interview once, and he talked about like not being blind and how much research he did to be able to pull off feeling like feeling like you're watching a blind person,
Yeah,
you know. And he like researched it. He went and met with, doctors. He went and met with people that go through it. He learned the mannerisms and like that, I don't know, like it almost feels like, and I hate to say this because I don't really know her personal situation or anything, but like with Rosario Dawson, it feels like I think about like back when I played hockey. All right,
right.
my last year of playing hockey, our team was so good, and like we felt like we threw our helmet or our stick in the rink and we had already won the game. And
Mm.
I feel like that's what it feels like we're getting from her. And I don't know what she's done in her career that would put her in a position, you know what I mean, to like do that.
I mean, she's Rosario Dawson.
Okay,
She was in Men in Black too.
cool.
She's extremely attractive.
I mean, okay, you know,
She's Rosario Dawson. That's all you need to know.
this might, I don't remember this part, but it might be true.
That
I mean, it makes sense, but
makes sense.
yeah, but like, you would think that based on the way that like he stares off in the distance and everything, like you would think he's actually blind, and it's like that's the kind of dedication you have to put into it. You talk about Anakin, or I'm sorry, Hayden, and that he spent 20 years doing this,
Yeah, he
you
looks.
know,
You could just literally tell.
right?
That's why I was so critical of the scene, because you can literally see it. Like they weren't using a stunt double for Rosario. It was like very clearly Hayden Christensen is a professional. Like maybe like a real one would still beat him, but you can definitely tell this is a person who put in a lot of work on sword fighting, and they really know what they're doing. And looking at if it looked like Rosario Dawson was moving through mud in comparison, and that's why it was so unbalanced and awkward to watch, especially at the end where she disarmed him by him like intentionally throwing the sword over her head so it would miss, and then slowly handing it to her so that she can grab his arm, but then she awkwardly pulls it so that the lightsaber would actually have cut her in half if she had disarmed him like it looked like she did. And then it comes up out the camera on the other side, and she magically has his lightsaber and holds it to his neck. And I'm just like, this looks awful. like like even in real time, I was like, that looked terrible. No amount of force tricks is gonna make me overlook how awkward and terrible that looks.
So, well, I mean, I am still enjoying the show. It's not obviously a home run, but it's a solid double.
Oh,
And
a double. Holy no. I mean, let's wait till Thrawn shows up, because so
mm,
far this is a bunt.
I don't know about that. I think
At
that's a
best.
little a little
At
a little
best.
drastic, but
At best. We're comparing it to some of the
all right,
other
maybe
stuff.
it's a single to left and advance on error. Okay, I'll
uh,
give you that.
I mean, I felt like the first three episodes of Boba Fett were a strikeout. So so giving Ahsoka a bunt, I feel like is an upgrade for Disney Star Wars. I'm like, oh, this is it's just not me. I'm enjoying it. I'm not like watching Rebels makes me simultaneously enjoy and hate the show more because I'm watching Rebels. I'm like, oh man, these characters are so great. Oh, Chopper is wonderful. Hera's great. Sabine is okay. I like Ahsoka. Oh, this is so good. And then I watch Ahsoka. It's like, ugh. What is this? What's up, Craig? I'm like, it's making it worse. Like I just got to the episode. I saw Thrawn already in Rebels. I got past that. Thrawn has appeared, and I just passed the episode where Darth Maul returns from getting cut in half. Which was crazy. But I feel like they need to do something about the lightsabers because the consistency is crazy. Like you can sometimes it kills you if you get stabbed. Other time, but you can also survive by getting cut in half or getting stabbed as a child. Like it's
Yeah.
all it's the lightsaber stuff is all over the place. Like, come on, these are supposed to be like the most dangerous weapons in the galaxy. Like, why? Like, why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Like, it should do something. They're supposed to be dangerous. Like, they need. I think they need some to figure out. Okay, lightsaber, either they're dangerous or they're not. Like if they're turning droids to Swiss cheese, if you stab a regular person through the stomach, their inside should be liquid.
Well, it cauterizes immediately.
Yeah, and so there's no bleeding, but everything it touches inside you is liquefied. your organs inside the cauterized room are liquid, which is a bigger problem than you bleeding out. That's the larger issue there. I'm not worried. But I mean, this was like 4 episodes left. 3,
something like that. Yeah.
Hey, well, the best thing I can say is it's almost over. The next thing for Disney Plus is going to be Loki. If they do Loki, if they premiere Loki like they did Ahsoka, like at a reasonable hour, I think I'll do live watch parties for it because it's Marvel, so I'm obligated to care more because I run a superhero channel. But my expectations aren't particularly high. Especially, I just saw. Did you see? They're releasing a version of Werewolf by Night that's in color.
Yeah, and I don't understand like why people are so upset about it. Like, just don't watch it if you don't care.
I'm definitely not going to watch it, but I was like, I just thought it was weird because it's like it's not supposed to be in color.
Well, I mean, I don't know why they're doing it either, but
I mean,
I don't really think it hurts.
I mean, I know why they're doing it because
there's nothing else to. Yeah,
there's a strike. All their shows, all their other stuff is delayed
right
indefinitely.
Yeah.
They need to do something. So they're re-releasing stuff. They're putting stuff in physical. I think they're putting stuff on regular TV. They're doing all sorts of stuff to make use of their content while the strike drags on.
Yeah, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I mean, like, I probably won't watch it, but maybe there are people that will.
I think I'll watch it, but the black and white version when the color version comes
That
on.
was one my wife actually enjoyed watching with me.
I thought it was probably the best thing that came out of Phase 4.
Yeah, it was good.
Like it was very good quality, and for me, like it was like in terms of Disney Plus, I thought World by Night and What If were my favorites by far, and movie wise, basically No Way Home, and only like the second.
I'd have to think about it. Like, I haven't thought about it in a while.
Yeah, my take on No Way Home is still like heavily carried by nostalgia, but the second, like the middle of the second half onward, is really good. Everything before that is pretty bad, but still better than DC quality, but not particularly good. And once again, pretty terrible writing. But the movie, it's not overrated, I'd say for sure, but it definitely gets much better as it goes along. But I mean, too many other projects to me were either just completely bad or started out good or okay and then just fell off. Like WandaVision, I thought had masterpiece potential, and then it just completely collapsed on itself, which was very unfortunate.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it. I don't want to commit to anything.
Classic Jay sitting on that fence.
Well, no, my brain doesn't work that way. I don't have it all stored. Call me a boomer.
You've never Have you haven't done your obligatory Marvel rewatch yet?
No.
Yeah, I rewatched. I did a rewatch of, I think before Phase 4 started. No, I think before WandaVision started, I did a rewatch of every MCU project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. I sometimes let them run at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, but
I did. I used to do that for The Office, but
that's actually one of my go-tos. You know, just I don't like I just like to have something that if I fall asleep, I don't care if I miss it.
yeah, so yeah. For me, because I've seen The Office so many times, yeah, it's the perfect. But they took it off, so the only thing I have is on Hulu. I have Hulu's, but I don't have The Office because it's on the live TV section. I have the UK Office.
Not the same.
It's not. It doesn't the same.
It
It
is kind of funny that a lot of people will say that that one is so much better, and it's
it's
just
clearly not.
it's not.
Like it's such an edgelord take because
Yeah.
it's like oh it's tight because you can make the argument that okay well the US office ran too long, but it's still objectively better
Yeah.
than the
I
UK
mean, look,
office in every
Ricky
way.
Gervais is fantastic.
He's great.
Like,
He's great,
but like
but
that's it.
yeah, that's
There's
literally it.
nobody else remotely memorable in it. One of the whoever the Pam of the show,
Yeah,
she does end up like she was in Wonder Woman and she was like Etta Candy.
I
She was
completely forgot.
yeah, that's it. And you would literally have to look up her IMDb to realize it because she looks so much different.
Yeah, all the characters in because that's the that was the problem. Like the UK office was a one man show. It was Ricky Gervais doing very good Ricky Gervais, but it was Ricky Gervais. That was pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
And everyone else in the show was particular. Whereas with the US office, the entire cast was incredible. Like, like they were all interesting. They worked well together. On top of Steve Carell, you know, doing great as the ridiculous goofy boss. So and it was way funnier. It's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Especially if you only compare to even the seasons after Carell left, it's just better because they have such a better cast of characters.
Except Scott's Tots. That one's tough. We skip Scott's Tots.
Yeah, but still, but for the most part, like especially if you compare just the first 3 seasons to the first to the 3 seasons of the year, it's not even close. Like
Yeah.
it's so much better. I go watch the Office forever. I saw the Office YouTube channel. I just stumbled upon one of their clips, and I just ended up going down a rabbit hole of watching just segments from the show that they post. Like they posted a compilation of Jim's pranks on Dwight, but they got
Yeah.
progressively more expensive. I'm just I'm just saying that, I'm like, you can't do anything like that for the UK office.
Right.
It's just not because it's just not good. It's just not as good. Like literally just Jim's pranks on Dwight alone are just better than like their Jim, like when he's winding up their Dwight, it's not funny at all. It's just he's just being mean.
Well, wasn't one of the Hobbit guys in the UK office too? The one that was a scroll.
Maybe I don't know. You British people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of British people in there. I don't know. The only one I remember offhand is Ricky. You talk about Ben Mendelsohn,
No. Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah,
What?
he was in it.
He was in the UK office.
Looks like it.
I don't even remember him in there.
Wait, Olivia Colman was in it? No, Bruce Lee was not in it. Wow, this
What?
it's like the AI bot like pulling together all this random shit. All right. The Office. So yeah, Martin Freeman was in it. So yeah, he was the Jim.
He looks very different.
Yeah, well, he was obviously very young. So yeah, that's basically That's basically it. I don't recognize any of these other people.
Yeah, he was definitely a worse Jim than John Krasinski. John Krasinski is definitely the superior Jim.
Other than Lucy Davis, who was in Wonder Woman as Etta.
I don't even remember that character, Jay.
She's literally Wonder Woman. She's Diana's secretary.
I
Like,
literally don't remember that character.
yeah,
I don't remember her having a secretary.
yeah. Well, she did.
Yeah.
She didn't do much else after that. Oh, she was in Shaun of the Dead, which isn't really a surprise because Ricky Gervais. So
I mean, every British person was in Shaun of the Dead, so
yeah. Anyway, so Martin Freeman, but like even he's kind of forgettable in it.
Yeah, like especially because it's definitely worse when you're because if you've actually like remember the U.S. office and you're remembering like what their counterparts are supposed to be.
Oh, so their Dwight was actually in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and he was Ragetti. He was like one of the two Joker guys that like they end up like walking the plank at some point.
Don't remember.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but that's really all he was into. So
yep, U.S. office better.
yeah.
So I think we can wrap it up for this week. Thank you all for hanging out once again for Marvel Spider-Man Day slash month at this point.
Slash year.
Slash
rest of your year.
I think we definitely just saw our game of the year. So stay tuned next Friday. So can't wait to see what happened. What kind of marketing is assignment they're going to do now? Oh, sure they showed gameplay, new trailer, and released new gameplay.
Yeah,
and 2 new trailers. But what else are they going to?
Yeah, give these losers a week without something, and they'll be back to bitching.
Yeah, I got like it was at a point where I had to like start planning out like what videos I could make because there was so much that I would have to like come out with because there's just so much material
Yeah.
to make content about. I still have a video I have to make for tomorrow about Marvel, about just going over the stuff we learned from the hands-on gameplay. I'm still learning new stuff. That's why I wanted to wait till tomorrow because I'm like, I know there's going to be a bunch of new stuff that I missed that's going to come up. So,
well, I brought up the hip hop gamer thing for you, so you're welcome.
I was already going to run with the Spider-Verse thing, so how was you going to because of Caboose, not David hip hop gamer?
Well, it's something worth mentioning, I think.
Give him his props at least I'll give him his props at least for the playable Venom thing, and like vaguely alluding to like the switching or whatever. But yeah, it's I'm mostly giving that a dub for Caboose for having the wherewithal to do that side mission. He trusted his gamer instincts and it let him well. So I'm going to drop that tomorrow. I got to work on that and compile that script because we did learn a hell of a lot of information, and who knows what else assignment's gonna. They honestly don't need to do anything else, and if they don't want, until the review goes out. Like they could just chill, but they'll probably do some more. Who knows at this point. But this September, because I think they still might get the Game Informer for October. They might do that.
They might. I don't really think it's necessary for them.
They don't.
Well, somebody from Game Informer was there though.
Yeah.
The guy Marcus that I met at the Royal Rumble, he was there.
Yeah, he went to the preview.
So it will be in Game Informer.
It will. It might not be on the cover, but they do have hands-on impressions there.
.com.
So catch y'all next week. I'm Sadot the Gamer.
I'm Casual Avenger.
No, you're not.
I'm JayShockblast, I guess.
Yes, you are. And Casual Avenger is not here in spirit, but we'll tip our caps to you anyway. Enjoy your deep dish. Zip it up and zip it out.